Frank, the director of Gargoyles. I have a couple questions about Gargoyles. I'm asking everyone first, did you know about Gargoyles before you started working on the show? Like the history of them, the origin, or was it all a new concept for you?
Well, I was working on Batman at the time. I had received a call from Disney, and they wanted to interview me for a project. And I, at that point, had no idea what Gargoyles was. I had heard rumors from the crazy comical side of things more than what the series wound up being. So I went over for a talk, and then they took me into this room and showed me all this fantastic artwork that the Disney people had already created. And the show was still in kind of flux, where they're still kind of working out the concept and things, and they wanted me to come in and, throw in my 2 cents worth, basically. So,
what was the selling point to get you on the project with Gargoyles? What did they do to reel you in?
I was in love with the period aspects of Gargoyles, the medieval. Like I said, I'd come from Batman, so we were doing all the modern superhero type stuff, and it was great. But I've always been kind of big fan of fantasy. And I'm looking at this, and this is basically what it was. It was a combination of whatever we needed it to be to tell a proper story. So we could have horror, we could have drama, comedy, pathos, anything fit within the concept. That's the beauty of the concept, is it's timeless. And you can have flash, it's kind of like Highlander. You can go backwards and forwards, and we did that a few times. So it just lent itself to so many different kinds of genre in world building. So, and that's if you're an artist and they say they want to put you in charge of something like that, where you can leave a lasting imprint, work with all this great talent. Well, it's kind of hard to say no, so I didn't.
Right. Did you know that you were going to leave a lasting imprint? Like when you saw the show, were you like, this is going to be talked about 30 years from now?
I don't know if anybody thinks that when they do that, because I knew it was possible because of Batman. So you hope for the best, and you put the time in, you put the effort, and the audience, the fans are going to make that determination, and you hope that they understand what you're doing, and more importantly, that they enjoy what you're giving them. And if that happens, then, let time fall where it may. And that's kind of why we're here now talking. It's like 30 years later, the fans are still absolutely in love with the series and the characters.
I was just saying that I used to rush home when I got off the school bus because it came on at 4, and I would rush home to watch it. And I attribute a lot of Gargoyles to kind of like me being political today. So as a director, did you know that you were going to have that imprint on, am I a millennial? On the millennials here that watched that kid show, but also got to like see some pretty adult stuff.
When I was a child, the shows I ran home to watch were Gigantor and Astro Boy, and these wild type of anime shows that had serious story overtones to it, and that must have fastened into me, because as a director, I'm always think back to those early anime shows that I saw, and they always tackled issues. And over the years, it's like when I try to do shows, and I've done many shows, for me it's always one, there's cool stuff that we can do, but I have to make it entertaining first. Above everything else, it has to be entertaining. Otherwise, no one will watch it. But if they entertained and you can give them a little extra,
Yeah.
then that's the kind of stuff you try to aim for, because you know that that's going to last a mental impression, like what I did. It happened to me when I was watching, you know, those episodes of Astro Boy as a child.
Yeah. And then here's my last question. What was the funnest episode for you to direct? What is the episode that sticks out in your mind?
The one that drove me crazy.
Oh, which one was that?
Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember the names. It's been 30 years. Come on. Yeah. Oh man. It was the episode where the humans turned to gargoyles and the gargoyles turned to humans.
I remember that one.
Mirror. Is it Mirror?
Yeah, I think it was
Mirror.
Yeah.
That was giving me fits because I'm going, Craig, what's going on? I mean, am I on the right thing? Are they turning into this or that? And Puck is really this other guy? And then what?
Yeah, that was a good episode.
And the animation came back so beautiful on it. But that one was very tricky because it was a very complex thing to pull off, because what we were trying to do was, in an odd way, make it confusing for the viewers as to going on, because that's how you get them into the show itself. Because if there are gargoyles and the gargoyles are confused and they're afraid of these humans as gargoyles, even though they're, you see my point.
Right.
So it was kind of a weird experiment that was just wonderful in its execution. But it wasn't without challenges.
For sure. Well, thank you for taking the time out with us, Frank, and I appreciate you and your work on gargoyles. Like I said, it helped shape me today.